Welcome back to the channel. My name is Tronage, and today we're going to be talking about what's inside this giant cardboard box. Spoiler alert, it is an Xbox Series X. Want to unbox it with me? Well, then you're gonna have to stick around. Xbox Series X. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We have the Xbox Series X in the house. But you may be saying to yourself, wait a minute, Tronage, that looks like a regular brown cardboard box. That doesn't look like retail packaging. And you would be 100% accurate. That is because I had mine shipped from Costco, because that's where I pre-ordered it from, and this is how it came. Now, I haven't opened it yet. Everything is still sealed up and all hunky-dory, so let me move this out of the way for a moment here, so we can have a little chit chat. So what we're gonna do, I wanted to take you along with me on that journey of not just opening up the retail packaging, but opening up the shipping packaging, because I don't really know what's inside. I don't know if it's gonna be retail packaging. I don't know if maybe it's just gonna be like an OEM style thing where all the stuff is just in this box. I don't know. I have no idea, but that's why I wanna take you along on the journey. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring you up in close, and we're just gonna do a full thorough unboxing. We'll take a look at this. We'll get weights, we'll get measurements, we'll get all kinds of all that fun stuff. And I'll just give you my thoughts about the quality and just the whole experience in general. But before we do any of that, slam that subscribe button. While you're at it, hit that bell icon. Makes finding my videos a whole heck of a lot easier. It helps support the channel, and it keeps you in the know when I post videos like this one. And I also do stream video games on this channel too. So if you're into video game streaming, you might want to check that out. I do Fortnite, I do Among Us, I do, every now and then I do some Beat Saber, some Warzone, all kinds of crazy stuff. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. While you're at it also, I do have my Tronage main channel. If you're into drones and FPV flight and all that kind of stuff, maybe go check that out. youtube.com/Tronage. All right, guys, I've left you hanging long enough. Let's open this up. Xbox Series X bundle. Do not break down. Very important information. Pretty much this box, this outside shipping box, is pretty plain. There's nothing on it except for this sticker that says to not break it down. And then as well on the side here, it just has this little sticker here that just has that it's a Series X bundle with controller for Costco and a UPC code and a quantity 1 code. So that is really all that's on this box. So with that being said, let's break it open. So we got our knife here. We're gonna break that oh so wonderful seal. I can't get, what the heck's going on here? All right, there we go. Couldn't get into the little groove there. It's killing me to know how this looks inside. I've been waiting so long. All right, so we open this up. So it looks like the way it ships is we have a separate box for the controller in carbon black. So there's your controller for it. Put that to the side temporarily. We have a little bit of packing material here. And then it looks like we have the retail packaging for this. So rather than trying to lift this up, I'm gonna spin it over and dump it out. Ta-da! Okay, just needed to cover up my serial numbers in case that's something critical and I don't feel like sharing. So now that we got that covered up, let's take a look at this box. So right now it's all upside down, sideways, and irregular. So let's go I guess to the front first. I'll give you that shot. There you go. Series X, Xbox, 4K, 120 FPS, 1 terabyte SSD. Solid state disk drive is what that stands for. It means you get really fast access times. There's not like a spinning platter. It's basically just giant chips of RAM kind of idea. So here's your front. Let's rotate it to the side. Just has some product picture. Same thing, Xbox Series X, 1 terabyte SSD. This side, power your dreams. Fastest, most powerful Xbox ever. Redefine speed with the Xbox Velocity architecture. Play thousands of games across 4 generations of Xbox, so that's kind of cool. And Game Pass, unlimited access to 100 plus high quality games, membership sold separately. And then we have some Halo action going on there. Xbox logo, Microsoft logo, and the likes. We turn it again. Let me pull it down a little bit here. There we go. Now I can see a little bit better. So we got 4K gaming up to 120 FPS, up to 8K high dynamic range, Xbox Velocity. It's kind of like the same stuff that we just saw on the site. It's got a 4K Blu-ray player, which is kind of cool. You know, all kinds of stuff. So that's your little informations there, your little marketing. That'll bring us to the top of the box, which again just has product pictures, Xbox logo, and the bottom of the box would have where your serial number is that I covered up, and then all your little, you know, regional safety, whatever crap things. You know what I'm talking about. This nonsense fine print stuff. All right, so the way that this looks like this opens, I mean, you have these stickers. There's a sticker here, a sticker here, a sticker here, and a sticker here. So, but it looks like this is the bottom. So these are sort of holding this lid from opening the other way. So it's sort of a weird way of doing it, I guess. But it does say that you can, these are like peelable. It has like a little arrow saying to like pull. So instead of cutting them, I'm just gonna peel them. There's one. Two. Is that free? There you go, now it's free. They're probably gonna re-stick, so when I flip it over, I just wanna get a good angle on this. Okay. That's 3. And then number 4 over here. Okay, so it's not a very elegant way to unbox, so I'll just stick these back down. And then these, I can't really stick back in, so I'll fix those when I flip it over. It could have been a little more elegant in my opinion, but it is what it is. Okay. You don't appreciate how heavy this dang thing is until you keep picking it up and putting it down. All right, so let's open. Oops, hold on. Hold on, we got some issues. Stuck downs. Okay, we're free. Now, the moment to see what this unboxing experience is all about. Make sure we're all centered. Make sure we're squared away. Make sure we're ready to go. And then we open. Okay, that is freaking insane. Like, just got goosebumps from that. So the whole sticker things to hold that lid down was kind of awkward, but the way it opened, I did not expect it to be like a display to me, where it says "Power Your Dreams" with the unit here, and this isn't the actual surface of the unit. It's actually wrapped in some sort of like plastic that you can see me moving it. But the way it just presented itself to me was pretty intense because it had this angle here and then it's sitting out at a weird like obtuse angle. So overall, a great unboxing experience to basically say, here's your product, power your dreams, and that is freaking insane. So before we jump into this though, we got a little box of like goodies here. So let's get that out of the way first, I think. So I'm gonna open that up just to see what we got in here because this is what we really care about. So let's open this up. So we got here, looks like an HDMI cable. All right, always gonna need one of those. We got a little manual action. We got a power connector, which if this goes directly into the unit, I'll be happy, but I'm gonna bet you there's gonna be a brick somewhere, but we'll see. I'm so tired of that freaking Xbox One brick always shorting out and all that crap. But anyway, so we got a power cord. And that's all I feel in there. And then over here, we have, I feel like it's the controller. Okay. Ooh. Oh, it even comes with little batteries. All right, so we have the controller. Really nice feel. I mean, it feels in the hand, it feels just like, you know, the Xbox One controllers. I don't see anything special about it, superly. But it does have like a lot of grip to it. I mean, it feels newer. I mean, my Xbox controllers are quite old. So it is a nice controller nonetheless. It does come with 2 AA batteries. Those are, looks to be Duracell. Let's open those up. 2 Duracell AA batteries. They are Duracell brand. And we have the controller. And a little piece of packing material. Anything else? That's it. That is all I see. So maybe we don't have a power brick, and that would be very awesome. All right, now let's take this bad boy out. Oh boy. Okay. That was heavy. And we got this little thing in here. What's this all about? Okay, so it's a little, what this is basically just like a little getting started, you know, pamphlet type deal, how to hook it up, how to set everything up. So we'll take a look at that in a little bit. And just let me make sure, nope, there's nothing else under here. This is just some packing material. That's it. All right, so then we can move this to the side. And now we have the unit. So now, since we got that big box out of the way, let's come in a little closer. All right, so now, let's take this sleeve off of here first. So gentle with it. And there's nothing special on this little thing. It just says power your dreams. There's nothing else written on any of the sides in case you care. All right, so now let's start. It's like now it's like having like a birthday present. It's like wrapped literally. It's quite literally right now like a birthday present, where it's like, you know, this could be just like wrapping paper. So I will carefully open this up. Okay, so much for careful. I just ripped it. I guess it's not super critical that I be that careful with it, but I want to make this very, very good. Okay, take that off. Oh man, look at that. That is a thing of beauty and wonder. Oh. Okay. Let's move our wrapping paper out of the way. Okay. So here we go. Let's get this into frame here. Let's get it looking all good and sexy. So this would be, if you're gonna lay it sidewise instead of vertical, this would be your top because it has the Xbox logo on here and there's nothing else on the top here. The surface is fingerprint resistant. It's not easy to leave any kind of fingerprints on it, which is really nice so it doesn't look like a sloppy mess. But this is what your top is, there's nothing there. Then your front would be this side where you have where your disc would go in, eject button, I'm guessing. This probably lights up would be my guess, just like the Xbox One. You have a USB port on the front. You also have your button for doing the pairing for your controllers. And that's really what would be the front. And then we'll flip it again to what would be now the bottom. So this would be what the bottom would be. Let's pull this down a little bit here. So all that's on this side is just 4 rubber feet. That's all you got there. And then if we flip it one more time, we'll see the back of it. I've added this piece of tape just again to cover the serial number information. So we got where all your ports are. You have HDMI, you have storage expansion, which I'm not sure what that is going to be, but my guess is they're going to sell some sort of like thing that plugs in there to expand your storage beyond 1 terabyte. You have your power cord goes in here, so I would say there is no brick, which is freaking insane, although I hope that doesn't mean now that if the brick's inside, which is would say why this is a little bit heavier, but it has me concerned that if there's going to be the issues like in the past with the power brick for the Xbox One, is my Xbox Series X going to start blowing up. We have the Ethernet port, and then we have 2 more USB ports. And we also have this port. It's a Kingston security port. It basically allows you to lock this down in case I guess if you have this set up in like a public location and you don't want someone stealing it, there's devices that go into here and lock it so that you can basically chain this down so people can't just walk off and steal with it. So that's the 4 sides around the long sides. Now let's look at the short ends. This would be the top if you're using it vertically, and it's just kind of like a bunch of holes with a little curve. It's like bowl shaped in the middle with kind of like a green color going on inside there, so that's kind of cool. And then the other side just has like this little rubber ring and more of this like holes action. All right, so next up we'll do a little bit of measurements in case that's your thing. So here's your measurements, about 6 inches wide by about 6 inches long, and height wise, I'll tip it down again. And then this way we're looking at 11 5/8. And then if you want to include the little rubber foot on the bottom, we're looking at just around 11 3/4 tall. So that is pretty cool. If you want a representation, here is a controller. So there's your 1 controller, 2 controllers. So it's basically about 2 controllers wide. While we got the controller out here, let's compare that to the controller that I'm currently using with my Xbox One. So here's my controller that I currently use. This is what I use for my Xbox One. This is the controller that came with the Xbox Series X. And you can see the 2 of them side by side is about how long or wide you want to call, or tall, depending on whether you're laying it on its side or standing it up on end, how large it is. Controller wise, you know, it's hard to compare a controller because, you know, a controller's a controller, but it's pretty much identical, same format, same configuration. It does have this extra button here in the middle, and other than that, pretty much dang near identical. Same everything else. The only thing would be the addition of this button, and that's it. But I gotta say, overall, I mean, it is pretty impressive. It is, you know, I was told that it was gonna be smaller than I thought it was, but it's actually about exactly the size that I thought it was gonna be. But it is remarkably more heavy than I thought it was gonna be. But I think that is because they opted to move the power brick, or the transformer that converts the AC electricity that comes out of the outlets in our homes to the DC power that this unit will need, because our power cord does not have a brick in the middle of it. It's just a cord and a plug that goes directly into here, which means there's a big giant transformer in here. So those of you who have the Xbox One, you know that big block that's in the middle of that power cord, those internals are inside the unit now. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but that's what we got now. So here's our power cord. Now the one thing, while we are looking at the outsides of this and the ports and everything, the one thing I am a little disappointed about is I do run my Xbox. Currently, it has 2 HDMI ports. It has one that I put in from my cable box, and then the one that goes out to the TV, so that while I'm watching TV, I can get Xbox notifications. I can basically turn on and turn off the TV. So this is going to cause a whole situation with my setup, because now this is its own entity. It's not like a pass-through. So if I want to watch TV, it's going to be a different HDMI input than if I'm going to play Xbox. They can't share one, which is what I was doing with my Xbox One. So that'll be kind of intriguing thing when I go to actually hook this up. I didn't even think of that, so we'll have to figure that one out. So that's the only thing I'm seeing that's maybe a downside, is that it only has the 1 HDMI port that's out. There's no inputs. And also, in case you're curious, I do not see any digital, like any audio digital outs. So your only output you're going to have for audio is going to be through your HDMI as well. So if you don't have those kind of hookups, then you're not going to be able to hook it up, I guess. Oh, hey. All right. So I bet you guys want to wait on this thing. And I don't mean wait like take long to give you information. I mean weight as in how much it weighs. So I do have my handy dandy scale here. So we will do a little weigh in on that just to see how much this thing actually clocks in at. and it is currently coming in at 9 pounds 13 ounces. So we're just shy of 10 pounds. If you want to get really technical, that's 4,453 grams if you need that level of exactness. So overall, I'm very pleased with it. The whole unboxing experience was pretty awesome, except like I said, I didn't like the way those stickers were, because in order to take those stickers off or open or cut, you have to have the box upside down. I mean, I'm getting picky here about how a box opens, but it was just awkward having it upside down to deal with the stickers and then flip it back over and then open it. But once that did open up, that was an incredible feeling, having that just presented to you as such, and it was really cool. Now, couple things. One is the power cord. So as said, this power cord, that's it. There's no power brick in the middle, which is really just a transformer. It just takes the AC current from your wall socket to DC current that goes into the unit. And that is not, there's nothing here. It's just the wire, which would basically say that those electronics, that transformer, is built inside of this unit. Now that might be a good thing or that might be a bad thing. It's a good thing because you have less things around. It's just one cable, plug it into the wall, you're done. However, maybe I'm alone here, but my power brick has gone through a couple phases of it not working. Typically when there's like brownouts, blackouts, power failures, things of that nature, lightning storms, it'll decide to just kind of turn off and won't turn back on, and so the Xbox won't turn on, and you end up with this hole where you have to do these hacks, and you're tinkering with it to try to get it to work, and then finally you'll get that power brick to like reset and turn on, and off you go. With that stuff being internal to the console here, I hope that those issues may have been resolved, and we won't necessarily have those kind of problems where during a lightning storm all of a sudden now your Series X won't turn on. So I'm hoping that is resolved. It's also nice that they did include an HDMI cable, which is nice because if you're hooking this up, maybe you don't have one laying around and you want to hook it up right away out of the box, you got the cabling to do that. Everything is really cool. I mean, like I said, I was told that it was going to be smaller than I thought it was going to be, and I actually feel like it's about the right size that I thought. Like, this is what I pictured being the size. Although I will say the weight on it is much heavier than I thought, but I think a lot of that is because of the transformer being in here, because transformers are actually quite heavy. They're a coil of wire, and they can be heavy, and I'm thinking a lot of that is what's in here. Plus it's it's basically like a whole computer in here. Really awesome unboxing, and now I'm super excited to try this out. We're going to be doing lots of stuff with this. We're going to be doing some live streams. I do have Watchdog Legion that we're going to be playing on the Xbox Series X. We're going to be just checking that out and playing that live on stream, so make sure you are subscribed. Also, I have a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Tronage2, and that's usually where I will be doing my live streaming of Watch Dogs Legion on the Series X. So if you want to come check that out, please, that would be awesome to come and do that. And then sometime around Christmas, I should be getting Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and we will be looking at that on the Xbox Series X as well, because I like to kind of pace myself as I'm going along. Let's now hook this up and just see like kind of what it looks like when you power it up for the first time, and just see what the setup is and how we do all this. All right, guys, so I wanted to take you along on the journey of seeing what it's like to actually turn this on for the very first time. So I have everything set up. You see I have a blank screen yet because I haven't even plugged it in yet, because I don't know if when I plug it in, if it's going to turn itself on or I have to push a button to turn it on. I do know that reading through this little card that it came with, it basically says you got to hook it up, you turn it on, you have to run the Xbox app on your phone to, I guess, set it up, and then after that, then you pair your controller with it. So let's plug it in and see what happens. All right, so plugged in, nothing happened. So I'll now push the on button, which is the little logo, just like on the Xbox One, and see what happens. So it lit up. Wow. That was impressive. So right while it's doing whatever it needs to do, right off the bat, the button is not like my Xbox One, which is sort of like captive, and meaning like there's no actual button and you're just touching the surface and it starts. This has a physical, you have to like, I just touched it with my finger. I'm like, is this even a button or is this? And then I clicked and it went, and it clicked. So it does have a physical clicky button, not a just touchy button. So I don't know now. I guess I'll run the Xbox app, which is what it says to do. Maybe that's what it's sitting here waiting for now. Oh, something's happening. Okay. Set up a console. Set up a new console. And now I'm going to type the code I see on the screen. Wonder if you didn't have a phone, how you would do this. So my phone just asked for permission to join a Wi-Fi, I guess, from my Xbox. Okay, it says connect with your console. And it's picking my language and location, so English in United States. And I'm going to plug in my Ethernet cable to it because I don't trust the Wi-Fi when it's gaming. So let me go plug in my Ethernet cable. Okay. I plugged my Ethernet into it, and now it says I'm connected. Yay. So it needs to update the console. Now it's asking me for energy saving. Do I want it to basically be like one of those when it's instant on, or does it take time to boot up each time? Because when it's instant on, it means it's always using a little bit of power as you're doing it. So I like to have it instant on. When I want to game right then and there. And since I'm the only person who uses this Xbox, the next thing he's asking me is about like the sign-in and security. So I'm just leaving it open because I'm the only one who uses it. And I'll auto sign myself in. And I'll keep my apps up to date. I mean, it's really just, the normal run-of-the-mill stuff here. I mean, you're not really seeing you're not missing much of anything on the phone. It's really just, turn on remote features. When remote features are turned on, your phone can communicate with your console anytime you want. Install my new games. Turn on. I like using that feature just for when you have to type something in. I hate like using the joystick to pick letters. You can just type on your phone. Now let's get you signed in. Okay. Now it's asking about optional data. I'm gonna skip that. It's still downloading, right? Oh no, step 2, verifying. Okay, so the console's still updated. I guess it's almost like they're entertaining you with this thing on the phone while the console does what it needs to do. Ooh, it's letting me pull my settings that are backed up from my other system, my regular Xbox One. So I'll do that. Copy settings. All done. Explore the app while your console updates. Okay, cool. Alright, so apparently now we're just waiting for the Xbox to finish doing its thing. While we're doing that, I figured I'd go run and grab Watch Dogs Legion for Series X and crack this open because this is going to be the game we play. So might as well. Okay, and then this silly sticker across the freaking thing. There we go. We're all cut open. Ooh, looks like just any other Xbox thing. So we got some paperwork in here. Let's see, is there anything cool about it? Golden King because I guess because it's a pre-order. Ooh, something's happening. Oh, it's up. Is it updating again? I'm joking. Come on, I want to play. Oh, I guess maybe it's downloading my settings from my other Xbox. So yeah, I got a code here for the Golden King pack, which is kind of cool. And something about the season pass, like advertising. So I'll have to put those in a little while. My phone just dinked off. Oh, it's all my authenticators because I logged into my Microsoft account. That's what's going crazy here. So that I know that something changed. All right, so now we have our new controller. It says to push and hold that button. So let's see if that does anything or if I'm gonna have to pair it with the buttons. It doesn't, it looks like it may have come prepared because I prepared. I don't, yeah, because I didn't have to actually pair it. You know, where you hold this button and you hit the button over on the unit that I was talking about earlier. But let's update the controller. And this update's happening all wirelessly. There's no wires on my controller whatsoever. So it is wirelessly doing the update, which I haven't updated my controller for my Xbox One in a while, but I feel like I had to plug it in to get it to update. I don't think it did it wirelessly. But anyway, we are now updating the controller here. A lot of waiting. I'm also curious to know, because I was playing Red Dead Redemption 2 on my Xbox One. And even though that's not necessarily an Xbox Series X enhanced game, I guess is what they're calling it, I think. I wonder if I'm pretty sure it's backwards compatible. So I think I can put Red Dead Redemption into my Xbox Series X to play it, which would be cool. But I'm wondering if, I think my saves are up in the cloud, so that should come down, I think. And if all is said and done, I wonder if it'll play any better. Because it's already a pretty damn good game. It's just kind of awkward. It's like more of a Wild West simulator than... Like, I thought it was going to be more like Assassin's Creed set in the Wild West. It's more like Wild West simulator. Yeah, that's about it. So close. There we are, 100%. And we're still sitting here. There we go, updated. Thank you. Next. No. No thanks. I don't want Game Pass. Alright. Advanced video features for my TV. Well, that didn't work. Well, that's because this isn't a 4K display. Yes, I don't have a 4K TV. But that's fine. So we will then continue. All right, take me home. Ooh. So it looks the same. But I am gonna now throw in Legion. I mean, I'm sure there's gonna be an install for this now, but at least this way we can see what it's like to insert a disk into the system, as well how long it takes to load up and all that fun stuff. So let's go pop this in. All right, game is popped in. It's making like disk reading noises. And there we go, Watchdog Legion install started. Installing. There's an upgrade. Upgrading gives the best version. 37.2 gigs. Holy smokes. Well, we're gonna upgrade. And we're gonna be here for a while. So I'm not gonna make you wait for that to download. So yeah, we'll stop here and we'll come back once this is fully installed, because this is probably gonna take a while. All right, that took a very, very, very long period of time, but I was in the room, I heard the little thingy go pa-tink, and I knew it was ready to go. So, let's see my first experience here with Watch Dogs Legion, what the Xbox Series X can do. I want this. I want the settings. Oh, here we go. Let's turn off 4K. This might be the problem because I don't have a 4K TV, but it thinks I'm allowing it to be 4K because the other stuff I have does support 4K before it hits the TV. So it's not seeing the TV, it's seeing the other stuff in the line. So I'm gonna, okay, there. Now since I turned off the ability to fire things up in 4K, now let's see what happens. That might have been my issue. I pray that was my issue. Yes, that was my issue. Thank God.
Press button A.
So we'll just go through the whatever the intro is until I start playing, and then that's where we'll stop. Well, this way you can at least get the intro to Watch Dogs and just see what it looks like on an Xbox Series X.
Ah, London. What a town. History around every corner and a tourist photographing it. Pubs serving up a pint and a smile. All that music, theatre and art. And multiculturalism. And the world's oldest underground, the Tube. The class of cities, really. Top shelf stuff. Only took 12,000 years to build it up, and one night to tear it all down.
What's our status?
Perimeter security's down, but plenty of your flying friends about.
Fucking hell.
Dalton, no time to waste.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow, it like looks freaking insane.
I'm in. Any idea what we're up against, Bagley?
If you haven't brushed off, I might. Ever consider leaving these security threats to the authorities?
That's rich, Bagley. The government would sooner arrest us for trying to help than actually do something useful.
We'll have to sort this one on our own.
Carefully, Dalton.
Bagley, are you detecting a little worry in Sabine's voice?
Brilliant. Asking the computer about feelings. This explains so much.
Shut it, you two, and get to work.
There she is.
All right, and here we go. This is the, I mean, look at the freaking shadows and the fact that this is not an inverted Y axis because I'm one of those weird people who use inverted Y. Okay, I don't want to invert the, there we go. Okay, I want my camera inverted Y. I don't want the game inverted Y. Okay, yeah. All right, so I mean, just look at these graphics, though. I mean, look at the freaking, like, the flares on the lights. The, you know, like, how it, like, has that specular aspect there into the shadows. Look at the shadows on the wall. I mean, look at the drips falling. Look at the freaking dust floating in the air. I mean, you can definitely see there's some wonderment and coolness to be had here. So, anyway, we'll be streaming this over on twitch.tv/Tronich2. Go check us out. We'll be playing a lot of this Watchdog action. We'll probably also be playing some Red Dead Redemption. We'll see how that works on the Xbox Series X. And as always, my name's Tronage. Game strong.